KURM listening audience to game number 2 of Series 1 today. For those listening at home, welcome to today game number 2 in the whole series of 12 matches. Here's a brief summary about ACE for those that need a reminder. Each team will play 3 preliminary games during the season, and then those scores will be determined which 7 teams will advance to the postseason championship. The championship tournament will be held on February 21st, 2018 at Farmington High School to determine which team will take home the first place trophy. I, again, am the game moderator, Justin Seaton, the GT specialist at the Northwest Arkansas Co-op. The additional game administrator and judge is Casey Neal, the science specialist at the Northwest Arkansas Co-op. Our scorekeepers today are Roy McKenzie and Kaylee Henry. And the coach of the hosting team at Bentonville West High School is Tom Hollingsworth. Now, before we start reading today's game questions, let's have the 3 teams competing in Game 2 introduce themselves, starting with the blue team, Shiloh Christian High School.
We are Shiloh Christian, and from the audience's left to right, we have Ben Fowler, Brady Brimmer, I am Jonathan Grimmy, Sarah Delatush, and Mia Caldwell, and our coaches are Seymour Wireman and Mr. Reed.
Let's give Shiloh Christian a hand. Thank you, team. Our yellow table today is from Farmington High School. Please introduce your first half players.
Okay, so we're Farmington, and this is Katie, Justin, I'm Jalen, this is Nick, and Joshua, and we're coached by Clayton Williams.
Thank you, Farmington. Let's give them a hand. And our red team today is from Lifeway Christian High School. Please introduce your first half players.
Good morning, we are at Lifeway Christian School, and from the audience's left to right, we have Reagan Combs, Caitlin Carey, myself, Christina Varghese, Ella Gray, and Nicholas Cox. And we're coached by lovely Miss Campbell.
Thank you, Lifeway. Let's give them a hand. For the benefit of the people unfamiliar with the game, I'll briefly review its structure. There are 2 halves to be played, each half focusing on 7 different academic subject categories. In general, the first half subjects are primarily language arts questions, and the second half subjects are mainly math and science, with some variations too. For most questions, awarding the points for each question falls on a range from 0 to 4. Exact points received by each team will be announced as the game is played. For most of the questions, teams have 15 seconds to answer an individual team question before the other teams can buzz in to steal for 1 point. There are more nuances to the game, and hopefully both the audience present and the radio listener audience will figure it out as the match progresses. Team scores will be officially announced 3 times during the match: at the halftime break, after the second half team choice questions have been completed, which is just before game question 18, and again at the conclusion of the game. So let's start today's match with the current events questions taken from the Arkansas Democrat Gazette from the newspapers of November 27th through December the 1st. Shiloh Christian, your current events question is: at what university is promising research being done on the effectiveness of a drug called plegabalin that may be used to treat alcoholism and mental disorders like PTSD, as research shows the 2 disorders may be linked?
University of Michigan.
No.
Texas.
No.
Arkansas.
No.
Tennessee.
No. For the still, Lifeway Christian?
Harvard.
No. For the still, Farmington?
Princeton.
No, we were looking for the University of Maryland, taken from the Monday newspaper. Farmington High School, your current events question is: in what state are lawsuits, threats, and recriminations flying as the state wrestles about what to do about the 147 voters in and around the crucial district that received the wrong ballots in the November elections last month?
Virginia.
That is correct, Virginia. Congratulations, Farmington. And Lifeway Christian, your current events question is: the U.S. Supreme Court has turned away an appeal from gun owners who challenged their state's ban on assault weapons. What is the state that has banned these weapons causing this appeal?
Minnesota.
No.
California.
No.
Washington, D.C.
No.
Nevada.
No. For the Steel, Farmington High School?
Massachusetts.
No. And for the Steel, Shiloh Christian?
New York.
Not New York either. We're looking again for Maryland. Good guesses by all teams. Moving on to question 2. of game number 2 comes from the category World Geography and Culture. Shiloh Christian, your geography question is, the place from which an innovation originates is called what? The origin? No? Time, Farmington for the steal.
A hearth.
That is correct, a hearth. Farmington for the steal. Farmington, your geography question. What is it called when members of a folk culture give up their customs and traditions and adopt the social customs of the majority population? Assimilation is correct. Lifeway Christian, your geography question. The Iroquois Confederation of 6 nations is associated with which sport?
Soccer.
No.
Tennis.
No.
Cricket.
No.
Baseball.
No. Farmington for the steal.
Lacrosse.
Lacrosse is correct. Farmington sweep that category. Good job, Farmington High School. Moving on to our third category, American history. Shiloh Christian, your American history question. The movement of hundreds of thousands of African Americans from the South to cities during World War I and the 1920s in hopes of greater economic opportunities is known by what term?
The Emancipation Proclamation.
No. Time for the steal, Lifeway.
Harlem Renaissance.
That's not what I had. And Farmington for the steal.
Great Migration.
The Great Migration is correct. Farmington, your American history question is, created in 1941, the 99th Pursuit Squadron was our nation's first African-American Air Force unit. By what name is this group of men commonly remembered?
Tuskegee Airmen.
The Tuskegee Airmen is correct. Lifeway Christian, your American history question. The National Labor Relations Act of 1935 guaranteed workers the right to organize unions when the workers voted by secret ballot to do so. This act was called by another name after its author. What was the other name of this act?
Harley's Act.
No?
Smith's Act.
No?
Jefferson's Act.
No?
Anderson's Act.
No? For the steal, Farmington High School?
National Labor Relations Act.
No? And Shiloh Christian for the steal?
Johnson's Act.
No, we were looking for the Wagner Act. Nice guesses for all teams. Moving on to the literature question, questions that compiled from 20 different selected short stories. Shiloh Christian, your short story literature question is, from the short story, The Courting of Sister Wisby by Sarah Warren Jewett, what did Jim Harriman do to bring his neighbors to cry?
He would bake cookies.
No?
He would sing.
No?
He would grab.
No?
He would tell a story.
No? For the steal, Farmington? He played the fiddle. Nice one. Farmington High School, your short story question comes from the short story A New England Nun by Mary E. Wilkins Freeman. What did Joe Daggett describe as if being surrounded by a hedge of lace?
Can you repeat the last part?
I can't.
Oh. He lifted stuff.
Time for the steal, Lifeway Christian.
Spiderwebs.
That's not what I had. And we'll call time We're looking for his visits to Louisa Ellis's house. Question of the literature category for Lifeway Christian. From the short story The Outcast of Poker Flat by Francis Brett Hart. True to his reputation, what action did Uncle Billy do that harmed all of the other travelers?
He stole the resources and the horses from them.
That is correct. Moving now to the American government category, Shiloh Christian, your American government question is, what is the term used when a Supreme Court justice on the majority side wants to make a point not made or not emphasized in the majority opinion and writes to agree with the majority conclusion known as? Know what I have?
Concurring opinion?
That is correct. The concurring opinion. All right, moving on to Farmington High School. Your American government question. What is the term for the law several states have adopted that give reporters some protection against having to disclose their sources or reveal other confidential information in legal proceedings known as?
Smith Act.
No? Time for the steal. Lifeway Christian.
Shield law.
Shield law is correct. And Lifeway Christian, your American government question. What is the term for briefs filed by persons or groups who are not actual parties to a case, but who nonetheless have a substantial interest in its outcome known as?
Briefs.
Not what I have?
Pretend briefs.
No?
Concurrent briefs.
Say that again?
Concurrent briefs.
No? For the steal, Shiloh Christian?
Lobbyists.
No? And Farmington High School?
Amicus curiae briefs.
That is correct. Amicus curiae. That's the way Farmington. Moving now to the Shakespeare category. Shiloh Christian, your Shakespeare question comes from King Lear. How does Reagan die?
She gets stabbed in the back by Garner, or poisoned by Garner.
I'm going to say yes on the second question. No on the first. You said stabs, but it is poisoned. So you get the 3 points for the second one. Nicely done, Shiloh Christian. Farmington High School, your Shakespeare question comes from A Merchant of Venice. What does the Prince of Morocco claim he will do if he chooses the wrong casket?
Kill himself?
No?
Never get married.
That is correct. He serves never to get married. Also 3 points awarded for me. Lifeway Christian, your Shakespeare question comes from Pericles. What does Pericles bring when he travels to Tarsus that saves them?
Food.
No?
Grain.
That is correct. Grain, specifically. 3 points awarded to Lifeway Christian. Nicely done to all 3 teams in the Shakespeare category. Now moving to our 7th question in the first half, vocabulary. Shiloh Christian, your vocabulary question is, name the noun meaning resistance to authority.
Stubborn.
No?
Anarchist.
No? It's time for the steal. Lifeway Christian.
Sedition.
Sedition is correct. Farmington High School, your vocabulary question. Name the verb meaning to fix or manipulate.
Is it rig?
Rig is correct. Last one. Life vocabulary question. Name the verb meaning to contaminate.
Sully,
No.
spoiled,
No. It's time for the Steel. Shiloh Christian.
Soil.
No. And Farmington High School for the Steel.
Royal.
No. All good guesses. We were looking for taint. To contaminate. Alright, now we're moving into the team choice category. Each team has selected a different first half subject category question during a pregame meeting. When it is their turn, each team can only provide one answer to the question. A correct answer earns that team 4 points. Should the answer be wrong, the other two teams may try to buzz in and earn 2 points for a steal. We have Shiloh going first, and they chose Shakespeare. So, buzzers ready. Remember, teams you only get one guess. It goes for the steal. Shiloh Christian, your Shakespeare question comes from King Henry V. Who previously fought the French at the Battle of Crecy?
Scotland.
No. For the steal, Lifeway Christian?
King Henry IV,
No. And Farmington for the steal? No. All good guesses. We were looking for the Black Prince of Wales. So no points awarded. Farmington, you chose geography for your team choice category. You remember, you get one guess, and then the other teams get a chance to steal. Farmington, your geography question is, net migration from urban to rural areas is called what?
Counter-urbanization.
Counter-urbanization is correct. Nicely done. And Lifeway Christian, you chose vocabulary. Your vocabulary question. Name the verb meaning waste. That's not what I have. For the steal, Shiloh Christian.
Squander.
Squander is correct. Nicely done, Shiloh. And for the team toss-ups, all teams get your buzzers in your hands. We're going to choose the category from American government. What is the term used where proponents believe that judges should decide cases based on original intent of the framers, or those who enacted the statutes involved in a case as well as precedent? Farmington High School?
Judicial restraint.
Judicial restraint is correct. Nicely done. That should conclude the first half. Let's get a team score. I show the blue team, Shiloh Christian, with 8 points, the yellow team, Farmington, with 32 points, and Lifeway Christian, the red team, with 9 points. Coaches, we concur? All right, well, let's go ahead and move into the second half, where we'll take a quick break with our listener audience and swap out teams for the second half round. Returning from the first half radio break, back KURM radio listeners and those in the Bentonville West High School auditorium. Our first half score was currently in third place. Shiloh Christian has 8 points. Second place, Lifeway Christian has 9 points. And our first place team going into the second half is Farmington High School with 32 points. We've swapped out players since the first half, so let's again meet our players, starting with the blue table. Shiloh Christian, please introduce your second half team.
Hello, we are Shiloh Christian, and from the audience's left to right, we have Casey Hawes, Travis Mailer, Jonathan Kearney, myself, Sarah Delatush, and Christopher Bowerman. And our coaches are Mr. Freeby and Senior Bowerman.
Let's give Shiloh a hand. Moving on to the yellow table in the middle, Farmington High School, please introduce your second half team.
What's up? We're Farmington High School, and from the audience's left to right, we have me, Reed Petrie, pretty cool Tanner Green, me, Coleman Warren, nice guy Cody Parrish, and slightly average Jaden Goff. And our coach is Clayton Williams. Thank you.
Let's get Farmington. And on the red table, Lifeway Christian High School, please introduce your second half team.
Hello, we are Lifeway Christian School. From the audience's left to right, I am Dalton Gray, we have Michael Nichols, Drew Fowler, my sister Adrian Gray, and Leah Sieber. And we're coached by Mrs. Campbell.
All right, let's get Lifeway Christian team. Now we will start the second half of the second game with 7 new subject area questions. Starting with sports from the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, newspapers taken from November 27th through Friday, December the 1st. Shiloh Christian, your sports question is, what pro football team snapped the New Orleans Saints' 8-game winning streak to put themselves on top of the NFC West and ending a dismal decade of losing for their franchise?
The Broncos.
No.
The Cowboys.
No.
The Browns.
No.
The Eagles.
No. Time for the steal. Farmington High School.
Los Angeles Rams.
The LA Rams is correct. Nicely done, Farmington. Farmington, your sports question. Florida's athletic director recently hired Dan Mullen as the new head football coach for the Florida Gators. At what university did Mullen coach during this previous season?
Mississippi State.
That is correct. For 4 points. Mississippi State University. Lifeway Christian, your sports question. What college basketball team finished their game with Minnesota with only 3 players on the court after 5 were ejected from the game after a near brawl and another player had an injured ankle?
Alabama.
Alabama is correct for 4 points. Lifeway Christian. Nicely done. Now moving into the second question, or second category of the second half. Chemistry. Shiloh Christian, your chemistry question is: this is a complex mixture of components in which both nitrogen oxides and ozone play important roles.
A chemical compound.
Not bad.
Air.
No.
Water.
No.
Soda.
No. Time for the steal. Farmington High School.
The atmosphere.
No. Lifeway Christian for the steal.
Atmosphere.
No, all good guesses. We were looking for photochemical smog. Moving on to Farmington High School, your chemistry question. This is the plot of the pH of an acid or base as a function of the volume of added base or acid.
pH titration curve.
That is correct. Nicely done, Farmington High School. Lifeway Christian, your chemistry question. What is the catalyst that is in a different phase from that of the reactant substances?
Heterogeneous catalyst.
That is correct for 4 points. Lifeway Christian. Moving on to the next category, art history. Shiloh Christian, your art history question. Which architect is best known for his geodesic dome, like the innovative United States Pavilion at Expo 67 in Montreal?
Lautrec.
No?
Matisse.
No?
Monet.
No?
Johnson.
No? For the steal, Lifeway Christian?
Jean Ralphio.
No? And Farmington High School for the steal?
Pay.
No? All good guesses. We were looking for R. Buckminster Fuller. Moving on to Farmington High School, your art history question. Which artist was the son of a distinguished minister and often emphasized Bible stories in his paintings?
Dali.
No?
Rivera.
No?
Pollock.
No?
Lewis.
No? For the steal, Shiloh Christian? No? And Lifeway Christian for the steal?
Jackson.
No? Again, all good guesses. We were looking for Henry O. Tanner. All right, and the last question in the art history category goes to Lifeway Christian High School. Which artist was the forefront of Fauvism and wanted to express himself with simple color and shape, rather than shading and perspective?
Henry Matisse.
That is correct for 4 points, Henry Matisse. Moving on to mathematics. There are 4 envelopes on the tables. Please, teams, get out the blue envelope and pass the pieces of paper to all team members. You'll have 60 seconds to answer. Shiloh, this is your mathematics question. Solve the following system of equations for x and y. 3/2 x plus y equals 2, and 4x plus 1/3 y equals 3.
equals negative 12x plus 9.
No? It's time for the steal, Farmington High School.
X equals 2/3, Y equals 1.
That is correct. After that, Farmington, your mathematics question. If you would, all teams, now grab the yellow envelope on your table and pass the pieces of paper out to each member. Solve the following system of equations for x and y. 2x plus 1/4 y equals 3/2, and negative 4x plus y equals 3.
X equals 1/4, Y equals 4.
That is correct for 4 points. Answer that Farmington High School. And Lifeway Christian, your mathematics question. If all teams would grab the red envelope on your table and pass out this piece of paper to all members. Solve the following system of equations for x and y. X plus 2y equals negative 2, and 1/2 x minus 2y equals 1/2.
Y is equal to half, X is equal to -1.
That is correct. Nicely done, Lifeway Christian. These are all taken from Algebra 1 type questions. Good job to all teams. Moving on now to the next category, biology. Shiloh Christian, your biology question. What is the term for the independent evolution of similar features in different lineages? It's not what I have? Not what I have? Not what I have? Time for the steal. Lifeway Christian.
Vestigial evolution.
It's not what I have. And Farmington for the steal.
Analogous structures.
Not what I have. All good guesses. What I have is convergent evolution. Moving on to Farmington High School. Your biology question. What is the term for groups of organisms that share an immediate common ancestor and are each other's closest relatives?
Sister taxon.
That is correct. Sister taxon. Moving on to Lifeway Christian. Your biology question. What is the term for differences among individuals in the composition of their genes or other DNA sequences?
Mutations.
No?
Microevolution.
No?
Variation.
No?
Phenotypical variation.
No? For the steal, Farmington High School.
Genetic variation.
Genetic variation is what we're looking for. Nicely done, Farmington. Now moving into the physics category, Shiloh Christian, your physics question. What is the phenomenon that occurs when the frequency of a force applied to a system matches the natural frequency of vibration of the system, resulting in a large amplitude of vibration?
Gravity.
No?
Cancel out.
No? For the steal, Farmington High School.
Forced vibrations.
No? And Lifeway Christian High School.
Oscillation.
No, we're looking for resonance. Alright, now moving to Farmington High School. Your physics question. In what profession does one correct imperfect vision using optical devices?
Optometrist.
That is correct. Moving on to Lifeway Christian. Lifeway Christian, your physics question. What is the bending of a wavefront as the wavefront passes between two substances in which the speed of the wave differs?
Refraction.
That is correct. Refraction. Nicely done, Lifeway Christian. Moving on to world history category. Shiloh Christian, you get the first question in the world history category. In ancient India, what was the term for the four rankings of people from high to low, similar to social classes?
Caste system.
No?
Ghana.
No? Time for the steel Lifeway Christian.
Social pyramid.
No? And Farmington for the steel.
Johnny.
No? All good guesses. We were looking for harness. Farmington High School, your world history question. Pictographs are picture symbols or characters used to represent an object. What is the term for the characters that combine two or more pictographs to represent an idea?
An ideograph.
That is correct. And Lifeway Christian, your world history question. By 700 BC, the Greek military system was based on heavily armed infantry soldiers, or foot soldiers called what?
Phalanx.
No?
Strong boys.
No?
Sportsmen.
No?
Turtlebacks.
No? Farmington High School for the steel?
Hoplites.
Hoplites is what we're looking for. That's what that's Farmington. Now we're moving to the second half team choice and team toss-up questions. The blue table chose, Shiloh chose chemistry. So your chemistry question. What is a thermodynamic function associated with the number of different equivalent energy states or spatial arrangements in which a system may be found?
That's a good question.
All right, for the steel, Farmington High School.
Chemical kinetics.
It's not what I had. And Lifeway Christian.
The phase.
Not what I had. We were looking for entropy. The yellow table, Farmington High School chose mathematics as their second half team choice question. If all teams white envelopes and pass out the pieces of paper to all members, you'll have 60 seconds. Completely factor the following expression. 27x squared minus 9x minus 6.
Three times the quantity 3x plus 1 times the quantity 3x minus 2.
That is correct for 4 points. That's done Farmington High School. And the red table, Lifeway Christian High School, chose physics as its team choice category. Your question from physics. What law describes the relationship between the angle of refraction and the index of refraction?
Diffraction law.
It's not what I had.
Newton's second law of
Okay,
gravity.
No worries.
Snell's
We
law.
have Farmington High School.
Snell's law.
Snell's law is what we were looking for. All right, and then category is a toss-up, so all teams get the buzzers in your hands ready. We are taking the question from world history. Clear buzzer. Here we go. Which group of people from Ghana believed in a supreme being called Naimi, whose sons were lesser gods? Shiloh Christian High School.
Donison.
Not what I have. Farmington High School.
Morgans.
Again, not what I have. Lifeway Christian High School.
Hindus.
Hindus is not what I have either. We're looking for the Ashanti people. All right, that concludes the end of the game. Let's look at a team score. I show Shiloh Christian having 8 points, Farmington High School having 66 points, and Lifeway Christian having 29 points. So unless there are challenges from the coaches, I want to congratulate all teams for conclusion of a successful game number 2 of the first series of Bentonville West High School. Any coaches, please come up front. We're going to take a short break from our listening audience to transition for the next 3 teams to assemble the stage.